We like to do deep dives into all sorts of stuff that can help us understand how to really attract women. Today, we're going to be talking about this YouTube video I found called How to Really Attract Any Girl from the Far From Weak channel. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it. It really digs deep into what actually attracts women, not just what people say or like the surface level stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's a big problem for a lot of guys. We get all this advice, but it doesn't always match up with what we see in the real world.
Exactly. Like you think you're doing all the right things, but it's just not clicking.
Right. So this video kind of flips that on its head and says we need to look at things differently. Like it
Yeah.
talks about how women are often driven by their feelings more than anything else.
Yeah, it's not about being logical or rational all the time. It's about tapping into those deeper emotions.
Like the video even mentions this thing about how there's no real saying about a woman of her word, which isn't about like dishonesty or anything.
It's more about that feminine energy is like really dynamic and flowing, so things can change.
Right. And that's where the whole polarity thing comes in. Like the video says the most feminine women are attracted to the most masculine men.
It's like this natural attraction between opposites. And it makes sense, because if you think about it, a really feminine woman is going to be drawn to someone who embodies those strong masculine qualities.
And vice versa. Now, this is where things get really interesting because the video talks about this concept of the misguided feminine male,
Yeah, and what they mean by that is basically when a guy tries to act more feminine, thinking it will make him more attractive to women.
which the video argues is actually counterproductive.
It's like trying to force something that's not natural. They use this great analogy about magnets, how like poles repel and opposite poles attract.
So if you're a guy who's acting in a more feminine way and you're finding yourself attracted to mostly feminine women, it might be a sign that you're not being true to yourself.
Right, because that natural polarity is off. Now, another really important point the video makes is about the importance of a man's mission.
This was huge for me because it challenges that whole idea of putting a woman on a pedestal and making her your whole world.
Which the video says is actually a sign of weakness.
Yeah, and it suggests that women are way more attracted to men who have a strong sense of purpose.
Think about it like this. If you're a woman, who are you more drawn to? A guy who's obsessed with you, or a guy who's passionate about his own life and goals?
Totally. It's about having your own thing going on. It makes you more interesting and attractive.
And it creates that polarity again, which is so important for attraction. The video even says that many women actually desire a partner who prioritizes his mission.
Even if they don't admit it.
Exactly. Now, the video also briefly touches on this thing about why some women are attracted to jerks.
Which is always a confusing topic.
Right. And the video suggests that it's because jerks are often selfish and focused on their own lives, which can come across as confident and independent.
It's almost like they're not trying too hard, which can be a turn-on for some women.
Exactly. And it contrasts with that neediness that some guys display, which is definitely not attractive.
It goes back to that whole thing about being cute. Like, cuteness in women is attractive because it signals submission and attachment. But in men, it can come across as weak.
Totally. So if you want to learn more about all of this, I highly recommend checking out the Far From Weak YouTube channel. They have a ton of great videos on this topic.
Seriously, it's a great resource for anyone who wants to improve their dating life.
So to sum up, what we learned from this deep dive is that genuine attraction isn't about tricks or manipulation.
It's about understanding female nature and embodying your own strong masculine core.
And having a mission that drives you. That's key.
So I want you to think about this. What really motivates you in life? Are you seeking approval from others or are you pursuing your own path?
That's something to really ponder.
For more on this, don't forget to check out Far From Weak on YouTube. Thank you for joining us today. And thanks for listening to the Attracting Women, Understanding Female Nature and Masculinity podcast. We'll see you next time.